The average American largely defines their time by whether they're working or not. During your working hours, you earn money, and during your free time, you spend it. That sounds normal enough, right? It's how I thought the world worked for the vast majority of my life. But despite how popular this paradigm is, it's keeping millions of Americans poor. I'm the fireman, and I'm using this YouTube channel to document my journey to financial freedom, which is something I'm hoping to reach before I turn 30 years old. But to do that, I realized I had to change my mindset. I had to be my own CEO, not of a company, but of my life. And no, I don't mean that you should take personal finance advice from billionaires. They got their wealth by founding mega successful companies, which isn't something the average person can or will do. They're not personal finance experts, they're just mega rich. But if you're trying to reach financial freedom, you and a business actually have a lot in common. Most importantly, you're both trying to optimize your wealth. Yet, at least 90% of people don't manage their personal finances with the discipline that they should, which is why I think a lot of people would benefit from running their life with a CEO mindset. What does it even mean to have a CEO mindset? Well, a CEO has a fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders. That means they are obligated to maximize the long-term value of a company. I say long-term value because the highest profit right now might not be that important. A great CEO will recognize that sometimes a company needs to have lower profit to be more successful in the future. Just take Jeff Bezos, for example. If he had tried to maximize the profitability of Amazon early on, then Amazon never would have become the trillion-dollar company that it is. The short-term money had to be reinvested in the company to maximize the long-term growth. You should have this perspective for your own personal finances. For example, I spent 4 years earning no more than minimum wage, working across 3 different campus jobs when I was in college. That was worth it in the end because I never would have landed a 6-figure job as a data analyst if I didn't have that education. But the parallels don't stop there. A company has to earn revenue, keep their expenses manageable, and constantly reinvest in growth. That isn't so different from this channel's motto: make more, spend less, then invest. These 3 factors are absolutely crucial to building wealth, whether your own wealth or growing a massive corporation. So I want to go through how a CEO mindset can help you optimize each of them. No business will survive if it can't create something that somebody else will pay for. There are many tried and true business models that do exactly that. And there are also some more creative business models. And while I don't spend as much time as a lot of other influencers talking about how to increase your earnings, it is really important. I've shown before that a super high income really isn't the most important factor in reaching financial freedom. But you do need some income, and the more the better. And what I think is really cool is that to increase your earnings, you need to do exactly what a business does. After all, there are 4 sources of economic growth, which are land, labor, capital, and innovation. Whether you're managing your own personal finances or the finances of an international corporation, those sources of economic growth are the same. To make money off of land, a corporation might have a farming operation, or they might drill for oil. For you, that might mean building on undeveloped land and selling it, or investing in real estate. In terms of labor, companies hire teams of skilled and effective employees to do whatever work needs to be done. You can monetize your own labor more effectively by earning promotions or picking up a side hustle. Companies also invest in capital, which are the tools that they use to create whatever they make. For example, think of farming equipment or assembly lines. You can purchase your own capital. I mean, the camera I'm filming this on and this microphone are capital for my YouTube channel. And for the average person, investing is another important source of capital. But my favorite source of growth is innovation. Startup companies are constantly rushing to develop the next big thing. At the same time, big pharma companies are developing the next most effective drug. For you, innovation might be a new routine that makes you more effective, or a creative way to build your wealth. There are an infinite number of ways to innovate. So, while at a very different scale, the earnings of a business and your own personal earnings can be valued in the exact same way. But all of the revenue in the world won't do you any good if you spend more than you earn. This is where a CEO mindset becomes extremely important. A great CEO should be constantly evaluating a business's expenses. That means everything from the cost of making a product, transportation expenses, and how much the company spends on office space. I'm doing the exact same thing to reach financial freedom. I don't have to spend money on office space, but I am saving about $1,000 a month by living with roommates. And I don't have to transport products in the way a business does, but I do try to minimize my expenses on transportation by riding a bicycle instead of owning a car, which I've made a few videos on. By taking all of these steps to lower my expenses, I've shown before that I'm spending about a third of what the average American spends every year, despite living in an area that's twice as expensive as the national average. By doing this, I can earn a crazy high profit every year without having to earn hundreds of thousands of dollars. The reason this is so important is because it's almost the opposite of what most people do. Most people earn money so they can spend it. But if you spend everything you earn, you'll never reach financial freedom. To reach financial freedom, you have to save your money. And the more, the better. But it's not just saving money that's important. It's what you do with it. Any great CEO knows that money can make money. Profits from the business can be reinvested to create even more business growth. This is really super duper important, and if you remember anything from this video, I want it to be this. For a business, every single expenditure is a wise investment. These investments can be anything. A CEO needs emergency reserves, office space, great employees, and technology, along with a number of other things. When it comes to managing your own life, this is where a CEO mindset is extremely important. Just as every business expense is an investment, you should treat every expense of your own as an investment in yourself. Some expenses are obvious, like housing, food, and transportation. You might not think of these like an investment, but they are. They're an investment in keeping you happy and able to do work. And there are other investments that might be worthwhile to make. For example, companies invest in the skill sets of their employees, and you might also decide to invest in your own education. And even without investing in yourself, there is always a way to make productive use of your money by investing in the stock market or something else. With a CEO mindset, every single dollar should be working for you. So you should be approaching your personal finances with the same mindset that a CEO uses to manage a company. After all, your financial health is worth it. And while I think you should manage your life like a business, that doesn't mean that you need to live a cold and austere existence. For example, some companies clearly think it's worth it to invest in well-designed and comfortable offices. This is an investment in their employees' happiness and productivity. Many companies also run their own charities, or at least in some way contribute to the public good. You can say that this is just good marketing, but sometimes it really is about doing the right thing. Some investment is needed to keep you happy, healthy, and productive. And for me, that's my overpriced gym membership. I don't mind paying a lot of money on it because it brings me a lot of joy and helps me avoid getting burned out from work and this YouTube channel. That's worth it. But don't let yourself off the hook. If you manage your life with a CEO mindset, you can find a happy medium. Use your time and your resources strategically and with intention. If you do, you'll reach financial freedom. Now, I'm a big believer that running your life like a CEO is a powerful mindset. I mean, it would be kind of weird to make this video if I didn't. But what if you don't earn that much money? A lot of people think that you can only reach financial freedom with a super high income. But I recently published a video where I talked about how to become rich on a low income, where I shared some lessons I learned from somebody that did exactly that. So that's the video you need to watch next, which I'll link right here. Check it out, and I'll see you next time.